But there's one question that I want to ask you it's always the one I close with is there something that I didn't write on this sheet that you want to talk about today?
What is the definition of greatness?
Oof.
And what I've developed in my life is I always wanted to be a great person. I always wanted to be, man, Dom, great. Greatness is what I always wanted. And that is the ability to affect other people around you. If you can affect the other people, Pete, you're a great guy, man. You're a fucking greatness, man. I'm gonna tell you straight up, from bro to bro. Like, my foundation would never have happened if it wasn't for you. I don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for you. Right? You have affected me so much, not just me, Frank, Mike, Bobby. We're talking about these great wrestlers that you raised, that you set that foundation for, and we're all great people now.
All right, let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the Jersey to Vegas podcast. I have a special guest today. We have a special guest today, Dom Dibenedetto. If you guys don't know him, he is a former Belleville wrestler, and that's one thing he stands for sure. So if you guys are from Belleville, New Jersey, you will understand how heartfelt thing that means to us and to him. Not only that, after high school, kind of enjoyed the Jersey Shore for a little while, and then he ended up going to the Navy.
I became a search and rescue swimmer.
Search and rescue swimmer. We're going to talk more about that later on. He also wrote his own book. It's called The First Call Out. Bodybuilding channel. Like, if you see him in real, if you saw him in high school, like, to me, I coached him, and he was just a phenomenal work ethic kid, right? He was a kid. He was there. He loved the sport. He loved everything about it. He loved the training. He loved the hardships. He loved the mental struggle. And you don't have a lot of that. You don't have a lot of people that not only go through mental struggle, but kind of like enjoy it a little bit. It's kind of weird because I believe that's what made him to what he is today. And I think that's kind of what he says as well. So let me introduce you to Dom, guys.
What's up, guys? I'm a IFBB pro and U.S. Navy search and rescue swimmer, Dominic Dibenedetto. Four-time bodybuilding champ in the amateur league. I've gone from last place, like 39th place in the pro league, to top 4 and top 10, and now every show that I do. So I'm proud to be not just representing, the United States on the professional league, but, I am very proud to be from Belleville. A lot of people know me. I love it. I can't wait to move back. I'm retiring about 4 years from the military. Wow. And I've made my decision, especially with everything that happened recently, that I'll be moving back either to Belleville, the local area, and I'm going to be starting my coaching business out there, training people. That's what I want to do. I'm looking forward to now bringing up the next generation of athletes. So that's 4 years left in the military. I'm going to be a Riverine. I'm going to be, as Kobe Bryant says, rest at the end. So I'm going to finish hard with a combat school, combat training, and then ready to come back home. So that's ultimately my plan. Yes, I've published a book called First Call Outs. This is it's like 8 Mile meets Rocky. Right. I wanted my own Rocky story. It's about my life. So you can read it on Amazon. I will talk a little bit about that later. And yeah, I've loved the Mamba mentality. When I was in high school, I loved wrestling more than anything. But I was a young kid. I didn't have the tools. All I had was, Coach I beating me on the stairs in the summer, but all I had was wrestling season and then wrestling on grass with Frank, so
yeah.
When I got older and I became an adult and I discovered bodybuilding, that's when I said, okay, I'm an adult now. I have money. I can pay for the training. I can pay for the top supplements. I can travel around. I can compete. And that's when life was in my own hands. And that's why I've succeeded, because I've had that foundation of wrestling. And believe it or not, my coach, Mike Kawasaki, who's like Mr. Miyagi, old Japanese guy, he's a wrestler at heart. So he loved wrestling. We talk about Vision Quest, and we work so good together because deep down we're both wrestlers. So everything we do is with that fucking wrestling attitude. And it's just like the Karate Kid. He's an old, quiet Japanese guy. I'm this loud Italian guy from fucking Jersey. Complete opposites. And I'm actually working with him now. I work under him as an assistant coach so I can learn how to coach better. And it's just where he's that quiet guy. I'm that shut the fuck up and train. I got that Pete Isip fucking no. Well, you can't do you got a lot of energy. All right, cool. I'll make it fucking heavier. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we definitely yin and yang each other. And I'm very grateful for my journey so far.
That's great, man.
But, with all that greatness that I talk about, the accomplishments, the first places, and there is a lot of darkness. there is a lot of darkness, and this is what I want to talk about today. First thing is I went through a horrible breakup with my fiance. It was the most painful thing that I've ever had to go through in my life.
Yeah, man.
Because I genuinely loved her. I truly loved this girl more than anything in the world. I don't regret the relationship, nor am I going to sit here and I don't want to talk shit about her or anything because or disrespect her. That's not what I'm here for. I'm talking about my pain and my recovery. Okay. And I want the listeners to listen to somebody who has this Mamba mentality, how I got through it and, maybe using some of these principles. So let's talk about the first phase. So my breakup went into 2 phases. The first went to the grief phase and then to the genuine sadness and heartbreak. When we first broke up, I was in tears every day. I mean, I was crying. I was every day I break down at work crying. I would break down in the gym. I had 2 or 3 breakdowns just because you realize it's almost like somebody dying because when they're gone, it's like, okay, they're not here anymore. And then I think heartbreak is worse for men because of our possessive nature. So now I have in her mind that some other guy is going to be loving her at some point. Some other guy is going to be doing the things I did for her. Some other guy is going to make her feel good. And, as a man, we don't want that. You know what I mean? Like that we're possessive by nature. So right. I have to deal with all of this within a 2-week frame. And I want to give a shout out. I want to thank the people that fucking called me, that reached out to me. Pete, you did. Some of my best friends from, they call me every single day, and they were always there when I answered the phone. They're always there to answer the phone when I called because I couldn't handle the pain. I couldn't. It was just so fucking strong. Okay.
Right.
So that phase lasted about 2 weeks.
Right.
Okay. If therapy is definitely an option for some people, but it's not an option for me. And I was talking to somebody at the gym who told me they got divorced and they were just miserable sitting on the couch for 8 months. I was like, you wasted 8 fucking months? 8 months? Dude, that's almost a year crying because some doctor told you, hey, bro, you got depression? Right. No, I don't believe in that. And listen, I'm not here. I'm here giving my perspective. I don't believe that a doctor can say you are depressed. Here are some pills. Come here, pay me a bunch of money, and I'm going to get you better in 5 years. I don't believe that. I believe you can be depressed, but you got to fix what's depressed, and you won't be depressing anymore. Okay, so that was my second option. So I'm not going to go to a therapist and get a bunch of pills and cry on the couch for the next year. Right. I'm not going to do that.
8 months.
Yeah, or 8 months. Okay, I'm genuinely sad right now. I can tell you now. I still genuinely miss her. I'm still sad. But guess what that is? That, guys, is pure fucking motivation.
Yes.
That is motivation to work on yourself. If you lost a family member, I know, Pete, you recently lost your dad, right?
Yes.
I listened to you. You went through a very big grief period. And, I listened to your podcast about that. But think about that. You get that sadness and you said, you know what? I'm going to make my fucking dad, the ghost of my dad is watching down on me from heaven. I'm going to make him fucking proud. I'm going to be the best fucking dad that there is. Right. I'm going to do fucking jujitsu every fucking week. And I'm going to make it to the top at my age. If you have unlimited motivation with all this sadness. Okay. So that's how I'm handling it now. I'm getting my sadness and I'm literally getting up at 5 and I'm going to bed at 10 and I'm grinding all day. I'm here on a podcast. After this, I've got to go to work. After that, I got my second job training athletes. Then I get home. I'm studying for the hardest bodybuilding exam you can imagine.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is I failed it 4 times already. Listen, guys. I've already failed it 4 times. It's okay to fail. Okay. I'm not a fucking genius.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So you got to get this sadness. You got to get this depression and you can use it for listen, energy can't be created nor destroyed. It can only be converted. So at least you're feeling something. It's better than feeling some people out there don't feel anything.
Nothing.
Right?
Yeah. So true. Everything you say. Like depression is a perfect recipe for motivation. Like you need it. The reason you're depressed is because you're not happy with something in your life, right? No reason that guy's on the couch because the doctor told him like you're not happy with something. So let's just see if this medicine will fix it. It's true. It might help, but you're also supposed to do something. You're not supposed to sit on the couch and do nothing with them. It's like, okay, I'm going to work out and creatine and glutamine and whatever else the teen is going to help my muscles recover and grow. Correct? That's all the medication does. The medication is not going to cure you. it's going to help you at least get started, but you still got to do something. And the
Right.
perfect thing you said was like, use it as motivation. Use your sadness as motivation. Use your failing, right? You failed 4 times on a test. Fuck, I want to win, right? So I'm going to be motivated to at least win that test. That's true. You're fucking good one. Go back to your choices. You had 3 choices, right? Kind of
Right.
run it down, and which one did you choose?
So let's reiterate. The first choice is to text her, call her, and just sit and cry and let it self-destroy you, right? And that's one thing we don't want for anybody with depression, is to be destructive. And if you don't do anything, seek help, you're gonna destroy. All right. It's okay to ask for help. People think that weakness is not asking for help. No, weakness is when you need help and you don't ask for it. All right. So it's okay to go for help. Okay. And don't destroy. The second option is to seek help and get the medication that you need. Not saying that's a bad option. It wasn't the option for me. It's okay if you want to take that time. If you want to if you have the time. I don't have that type of time.
Right.
But if you do, a little bit of time to get some medication, talk to a therapist, do some steps to get over that pain. Third option, convert that shit to fuel. Get your sadness and just start going after it, brother. Just set some big goals, short goals, and we'll go over that a little bit more every day. Yeah, we're gonna go over that a little bit more later on in the podcast.
Awesome. It's best way. Those 3 choices seem like it seems like you're very, I would say, you definitely self-educate yourself. You look at a lot of self-improvement. I know you're part of masterminds with some of the greatest. So can you expand a little bit about that? Why is it important to you? Like, what exactly do you believe that is going to do for the listener?
So I go to 2 masterminds every week. I have a Napoleon Hill mastermind run by a good friend of mine, Larry Daniels. And what we do every Tuesday night at 8, which anybody's welcome. Pete, you're welcome to come across if you like. We share our wins for the week, and we have a new topic about, let's say last night was about faith, right? And what's important of having faith? How do we have faith in our lives? And 1 hour a week of talking about positivity with some positive people, and you see how they're bringing up, really gives you that little boost to get through the rest of the week. And so Larry's he's a life coach. He gives great advice. And we use the principles of Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich to apply to being a better person. And living happier lives. The second group I work with is called the Down and Dirty Legends, right? And these are some of the most down and dirty people I've ever met. It's with Tim Grover, who was Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant's coach.
Right.
And these people are some of the most elite people in what they do. All right. And it's very important to know what you do in life. Some of these people are the #1 piano player in the world, the number 3 parachute jumpers in the world. One of the golfers plays golf with Donald Trump, like on the regular. Right. So these are people that I relate to because they're at such an elite level that when I talk to them, they give me the feedback. So when I talked about them with, hey, I'm going through a breakup, they were very down and dirty. That's why we're called the down and dirty. Look, they're like, listen, you want to be successful? You got to delete. If this person was bringing, you're feeling down, you weren't feeling yourself. Sometimes to really be successful, you need to remove things from your life. As much as you loved her and know you do, how much was she holding you back from you reaching your potential? And, these are people that just don't give a fuck, and they'll just be, very straightforward with you. So I like to self-develop and improve by thinking about the greats. How would have Michael Jordan handled this? How would have Kobe handled this? And you start getting in their mindset and you go through their mindset and say, okay, this is what they would have done. So that's how I self-improve.
Yeah, man. That's what they would do, and it's really important to surround yourself with those people, and they want to say the cancers or the insects, I don't know what they call it, of your life. Like, if they're not there to support you, and some people are nice, right? Some of those insects or whatever you want to call it, are great friends, but they're not going to tell you the truth, right? And I believe the down and dirty is the most important one you have, because like they'll tell you the honest truth, and it hurts. I'm sure it hurts. But it's the only way you're going to improve as a person.
We don't call ourselves friends. Yeah. He says, friends tell you what you want to hear. He said, we're allies here. We're going to tell you the fucking truth. We're allies. I said, hey, Tim Grover once told me, he goes, I don't like any of you motherfuckers in here. He says, I got respect for you. but I
Right.
don't like you. I don't like you. I'm going to tell you the fuck how it is because I respect you as a person. I want to see you do better. And that's
Right.
what the down and dirty does. That's why the legends are a
Mm,
great group of people.
that's awesome. That's such a good concept. I'm not gonna lie.
And
I
Pete, I
always
just want to say for the record, I have literally seen your entire house because you're always in a new room. Every time I see you, you're in a closet in a fucking bedroom.
downstairs.
I
Bathrooms
think
next. I'm doing
yeah,
it from
you're
the
gonna
bathroom.
take a poop. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do all taking the shit. At least 2 minutes of it. That's
Just gonna
it.
flush the toilet. let me
Now I'm
let me
gonna.
wipe real quick.
Now I'm going to because now I have to because I try to find the best room there is where I could, kids are not yelling. I'm sure you're going to hear them in the background at some point because they're both sick at home and they're downstairs.
Oh man.
But you brought up something you guys are talking about in your mastermind, and that's faith, right?
Yeah.
Um, right now in a downtime of your life, or going through something, right? Or even in the past, what is it that gives you hope? What is it right now that gives you that belief in something?
So I don't like to use the word hope
Okay.
because hope kind of has the try attitude towards it. Like, hey, how you gonna do? I hope I do good. You know what I mean? That means
Mm,
you're kind of throwing luck into there. And I don't like to believe in luck. Faith, right, is a better word, I think, because faith means that no matter what the fuck is happening, it is going to get the result that I want.
yeah.
Right. And Larry and I we were talking about this last night. And some of the principles of Napoleon Hill, which I really love, is you have to have a vision. And even the Japanese, they talk about it's called ikigai. It's one of the part of the Bushido code, I believe, right?
Ikigai?
And ikigai, yep, it means having a vision,
Hmm.
right? Even Arnold talks about it. It all comes down to that
Right.
initial vision of what you want, right? Have that vision, and then you gotta have to have the burning desire to make it happen, and then you back it with faith. See, this is like a full 3-point combo.
Got it.
Okay, so for example, like if you are going through a depression, you're that guy on the couch right now, right? To the
Right.
listener, you're that guy on the fucking couch. Well, what is it that you want in life? Let me ask you that. I want people to really think about that. What do you do? What do you do in this world? Are you a barber? Are you a CrossFitter? Are you a piano player? Without knowing what you do, you'll never get anywhere. There's an old saying that says you'll fake it till you make it. You know what I mean? Well, let me tell you, if you fake it till you make it, you'll never make it.
Right.
You can't fake who you are. Okay. And it makes for some people, they'll know who they are right away in life. Other people, they may not figure it out till 40. Colonel Sanders, the guy that invented Kentucky Fried Chicken, and figure out
Yep.
till fucking 67.
Yep.
All right. So you have to know who it is, what you are, what you do. And then you got to achieve that fucking unrealistic goal, that crazy fucking goal that just sounds so crazy to people that only you can see it. And actually, that's a definition of crazy.
Right.
Crazy is seeing things that other people can't, right?
Right.
And then you back it by faith, and you back it by that burning desire, that willing to fucking work all day, get up early, go up late. You will not wake up early, go to bed late if you don't have that fucking vision.
Right.
And I think this is what we need to think. This is what I think is will pull people out of depression. This is what I think is going to stop the shooting, the school shootings. And just hear me out for a second.
Hmm.
I believe that we're teaching people today to seek happiness,
Right.
right? And when it's happiness is a feeling that comes and goes. But if we teach men, and this is I can't speak on behalf of women because I'm not a girl, I'm a guy. If
Right.
we teach men to seek struggle, seek crazy responsibility, crazy challenges, you're going to give yourself that sense of meaning to your life. And I think that's it, that you're going to do this no matter what. If you got to get up at 3 a.m, you're going to do it no matter what. And believe it or not, Pete, you said this in 2009. I still got the video saved, so I go back to it. You said you got a 14-hour day ahead of you, wake up 2 hours early, work out for an hour, and take on your 14-hour day. Is it going to be a long day? Fuck yeah, it's going to be a long day. Is it going to be a hard day? Fuck yeah, it's going to be a hard day. But you held yourself accountable.
Right.
That means you did what the fuck you said you were going to do no matter what. And that was actually word for word because I watch it. I watch that when I especially when I was on the ship and I had to get up at 3 a.m. to work out. So
Yep.
I think if we start teaching people to stop finding happiness
Right.
and we start saying, hey, what is your goal? Fucking stick to your guns, bro. Oh, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Okay, so what? If you lose it, okay, guess what? You're still young enough to fucking rebound. You're still young enough. So I think that if we start teaching men, do what the fuck you need to do as a man, as an adult, as our duty as men. I believe that a lot of the problems in this world are going to go. I think a lot of depression is going to go away, because I think depression comes from not knowing who you are. I think it's from you're trying to find this feeling of happiness.
Where was I going to go with that? Happiness, right? You can't. People are searching for it, and that's a word that's used a lot. Like, in my search for happiness, and I get that, and sometimes I use it because it kind of relates for other people. But I believe you have to create it, and that's it. Like, it's the work that you put in towards something that you love, backed by a belief in something, and now fueled by the motivation of your losses, right? It kind of makes your happiness. It's a big fucking equation. You know, it does make a lot of sense if we teach people that it's not looking and searching. It's like, no, you got to fucking be you, right? You're not going to be depressed when you're just you. Like, this is me, and be accepted as me, and I'm be happy because that's me. That's the problem.
People think that their situation is unique. Everyone's situation is unique, but everyone's gone through it. Even the people at the highest level. I'm here telling you, I'm at the highest level in what I do.
Yeah.
And I was depressed. I was crying just like you guys were. You know, and that's the thing is and people think that the more you succeed, the higher level you get, the easier it is. And it's further from the truth. The strain of competing at the highest level while serving in the military, what that does to your mental health, you don't want to know. Right. Having to push yourself every Saturday, torturing yourself with legs. Your fucking fiance you love just left you. You're heartbroken, and you're got to push through that fucking legs. I'm going to a combat school in 3-4 months where I'm going to be shooting guns all day, training to fucking kill people. Right? Still got to train legs. Still got to do that. Let me tell you, and to know that other competitors are out there. There are other people out there training to kill me. There are other people, you know what I mean? I got to be ready for that. And I have to also be ready. There's pro athletes training to beat me. Listen, it's unique, but everybody goes through it.
True.
Everybody goes through this depression. Everybody has heartbreak. Everybody is going to lose family members. We're all going to feel that suffering.
Right.
Okay. And it's just how you handle it.
Right.
How you handle it. And that's what this podcast is about.
Yeah, man. It's how different ways, you know, you choose yours, but at the same time, there's an easy way. There's a way this has to be done at times, but we got to do the work. You know, that's at the end of the day, we always say work, right? And I've always been my concept. My concept is if you don't want to do it, you still got to do it. You got to go to work, got to show up. You know, it's hard, but if you are there to create your happiness, then it's going to involve some difficulties. It's not going to be given to you.
Celebrate your wins every day.
Yeah, man. You started talking about goals before, and you said you're going to get back to that. Or was that kind of what you're going to talk about? Or do you have anything more to elaborate on that?
So yeah, we could talk about that. So, you know, you have to have these long-term goals. And I think people often, they start thinking about what they want to do in a year, but may take 10 years, you know, to do. Like it's taken me 10 years to get to the professional level, you know, but every single day I held myself accountable. I made sure I got all my meals in. I made sure I got my workout in, and, you know, celebrate your wins. It doesn't have to be like a party. You go look back, man, I did everything I could possibly fucking do today to get me to what's going to get me to here. Right. I did everything today, and then wake up and start being more grateful for what you have, especially, you know, physical health. You know, people take for granted their physical health. Like if you just walk around, you're healthy, you go to the doctor, it's like, hey, Jim, you're doing great. Hey, that's something to celebrate, man.
Yeah, man.
Because there's people out there who aren't doing great, and you don't care about your health until it's gone. So something as simple as I woke up today. Okay, today's, you know what I mean? And then you get to choose. You get to choose how you're going to feel today. So setting those long-term goals, like I said in the beginning, I'm going to, you know, my plan is move back to Belleville. That's 4 years from now. But in that time, you know, I want to save up to buy a house. I want to get my 4th warfare pin. I want to qualify for the Olympia. You know, these are all short-term goals, that are going to get me there. And, you know, this fucking breakup is so fucking difficult, but it's giving me that fire that I needed to push through to get me to another level.
Right. Agreed. I believe a lot of the stuff that I've accomplished in my life that I am grateful for, right? Very grateful for, has happened because of a breakup, like a really hard breakup where I thought I was going to marry the girl. And, it just, like you said, things just kind of, I guess when you're looking at it from the outside, not when you're in it, you start to see like, not the flaws, but the things that really didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, I wouldn't be doing this now if I was still there, or I
Yeah,
wouldn't have
yeah.
even thought about doing this if I was still in that. You know what I mean? So it's hard to think about, but it's like if it wasn't for that breakup, like that, and I used that, like, of course, I was in fucking training, right? I'd go into a closet. There's an electrical closet. It was like the day after. I just locked myself in between in the closet in between clients, and then when I came out, I just kind of like wiped my eyes, start training again, and then fucking go back into the closet. And it was like a good couple of weeks of doing that.
Fucking Pete, and so he's getting locked in the goddamn cupboard. Pete, come out of the closet. How many times am I gonna tell you?
I already came out. I have 1,000 questions that I definitely have. So we're gonna definitely do another podcast with Dom. Obviously, probably a couple more. You really have a lot of insight, a lot of views of life, and even more so, a lot of I want to say advice for the listeners here, and it's very relatable. But there's one question that I want to ask you it's always the one I close with is there something that I didn't write on this sheet that you want to talk about today?
What is the definition of greatness?
Oof, fuck.
And what I've developed in my life is I always wanted to be a great person. I always wanted to be, man, Dom is fucking great. Greatness is what I always wanted. And that is the ability to affect other people around you. If you can affect the other people, Pete, you're a great guy, man. You're a fucking greatness, man. I'm going to tell you straight up from bro to bro, like my foundation would never have happened if it wasn't for you. I don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for you, right? You have affected me so much, not just me, Frank, Mike, Bobby. We're talking about these great wrestlers that you raised, right, that you set that foundation for. And we're all great people now. So if I were to define what greatness is, it is being able to positively affect the people. There's not a person in my life that's gotten close to me who's walks away right now and says, man, my life is better now because Dominic's not in it. Right. And if you can say, man, my life is better because of Dominic, my life is better because Pete is in it. Guess what? That's greatness. That is the effect. That is giving back to this world. I think that there's levels. It can be just one person, if you made one person's life better, that's great. And then you got people like Kobe and Michael that, affected millions of people. That, right. Kobe affects me every day. I fucking hate basketball, but I love Kobe. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents of what is the definition of greatness.
That is a fantastic view on greatness. Something I would have never thought of. I would never even, obviously, right? I would never put attention onto me in that way, but I want to say thank you for that, because it's true. Right, the way people are great because of how you affect them, and that does make so much more sense that you said that now, and that there are levels of it too.
The decisions I made in high school because I didn't want to make you upset. So I didn't drink, and I think I drank once in high school, and I was like scared you were going to find out because I didn't want Pete. Because I looked up to you so much as a kid, and a lot of decisions I made were, man, Coach I, fucking Coach I. So, and that's the effect that I have now on my athletes is they don't want to get me upset. They want to make me proud. And, I'm happy to be sharing that Mamba mindset.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, we got less than a minute on the recording. So I'm going to close this out. Dom, again, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast for part 1. We'll definitely be a part 2. Where can people find you? Where could they, find you on the social?
Dibs_IFBB Pro.
Easy street on the IG. It's that easy. All right, Dom. Well, I want to say good luck and everything. I don't think you need good luck. I'll say
believe in luck. Believe in hard work.
I say
peace out, Boy Scout.
Peace out, Cub Scout. We'll see you guys.
I just need a time now. Probably just a sprain. It's okay, baby, it's okay. Got a lot of words you don't know how to say. Pull out all your big ones, tryna flip my face. I give you a big hug, say I'm feeling great. It's okay, baby,